La noche se acabó, pero tengo otra vez contigo. Le doy gracias a Dios, siempre pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Siempre lo pasamos bien lindo, lindo. Un verano contigo lindo, lindo. Hey. Me fui de vacaciones, baby, me perdí, buscando el sabor que encontré en ti. Canela con dolor de Bacardi, lo sentí. Baby, me tiene desenfocado, viendo doble, bien borracho, demasiado jodido. Contigo, pasándome contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama. Tú y yo, un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito, bonito, un día bonito, bonito. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot pa' ti, un shot pa' mí, un shot.
Hello, everyone. How is everyone? Have we all listened to the Aspire with Emma Grede podcast? Or have we watched it on YouTube? I love that we actually have video of the podcast that Meghan does with other people. Like this was actually, I think, my favorite Meghan interview ever. Literally my favorite ever. I thought it was amazing. I thought that this was the most confident, most just most everything, the most of everything that I feel that we have seen and heard. And I feel like a lot of it is because she's speaking on something that she hasn't, or she wasn't able to when she was still in the firm. Talking about business and branding and messaging and how you walk through the world, how you add your touch to different parts of your work. This is who she always was. And we just never got to see it before. Oh, and the glamour too. I mean, Meghan always looks amazing, Miss Pretty Thang, but this interview glowed. Face card, my God. it was just such a brilliant interview. I'm gonna go through my notes because I made quite a few notes because there was a couple of things that I wanted to touch on. And we will get to that. Just a few other things though before we get to that. A couple of other stories. Yes, Suzuki, it was her best interview. I genuinely think this was her absolutely best interview. Shout out to Emma. I didn't know anything about Emma before, but I've been looking her up. Very interesting character. And I love Emma too. But okay, let me get to the other things first, and then we will get to the podcast. So it is scorching in the UK right now, especially in London. We're gonna hit the 30s starting from Saturday onwards. So please get your rehydration salts. Make sure that you are drinking loads, not just water. Coconut water is great for hydration. Watermelon is great for hydration. Electrolytes. Make sure you're doing all of that, please. But it is beautiful right now in the UK. It's like once the sun comes out, it's like all of the depression just leaves. Like it's just the vibe is different. You actually want to step out the house. I've been loving it. I went down to Tower Bridge the other day. Across there, by the way, is the Tower of London. And they've added a couple years ago this beautiful flower moat around the Tower of London. Anywho, over the weekend, it was Father's Day. And I didn't get to play the video in the podcast because I was scared about copyright with the audio that was used. But Meghan did drop a reel for Father's Day. And these are some of the pictures. So adorable. Some of them we haven't seen before. Some really cute candids. Oh, I'm just so happy for Harry. I just know Diana is smiling for her boy. The way he just did almost the unthinkable in leaving that institution and just finding so much joy and happiness. Couldn't be happier for him. And I love that we get to see this not just as a treat for us as fans, but to push back against this narrative that the tabloids have tried to create, that Harry is miserable, that he's a hostage. I mean, imagine using terms like he's a hostage, that he's isolated, that he's sad. He was a hostage in those palace walls. Actually, he wasn't even living in the palace. He was living in that rundown little cottage where he could barely stand up. Kevon Slims, the book. Okay. Okay, I'll get to that. I will get to that. Thank you, Kevon, for the super chat, but I will get to that. Those pics made you cry. I mean, they would make you cry. The one where he's holding baby Archie up to his face, adorable. Oh my God. Adorable. Lottie, you said, I often wonder how the world could how in the world Thomas Markle would choose money over his daughter and her family. Money that was going to dry out very quickly. Very sad. You've all Samantha Markle, she still has the Twitter, and you know, she goes off on rants all the time, blaming Meghan for the demise of the Markle family side. Meanwhile, Thomas has what? Doesn't he have like another kid that doesn't talk to him? And then the brother is just out here doing utter nonsense. They've done it to themselves. And I'm just so glad that Meghan has just left that side of her family alone. Left them alone. Nothing to be gained there from people who are so bitter about you. Just a note about this Father's Day post, though. I Am Sage caught something very interesting. She said, pay close attention to the time the article was uploaded and then when it was updated. These F-wits stayed up until late night, early morning with bated breath for Meghan's Instagram post so they could be amongst the first to write an article and use their footage. Chris Ship posted Meghan's video within minutes of it being uploaded onto her page. He was awake with tea, waiting for that post. So you can see the time here, 23:45 UK time, just before midnight, and then it was updated just past midnight on the 16th. They were waiting and hoping that she would post something. I can bet you they probably had the draft in the back. The people who, like Chris Ship, said he wasn't going to write about Harry and Meghan past Wednesday. That was a Wednesday, 4 years ago? Posted the video within minutes of it being uploaded. Faster than some of Meghan's fans. Insane behavior. Insane. Reminds me of the time somebody reposted this on their Squaddy feed. This post from 2023 of Emily Andrews. I might show it in tomorrow's podcast. Emily Andrews up at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. posting about Meghan. 2 a.m. British time. I happened to see it because I was on the other side of the planet. So it wasn't 2 a.m. for me. And I'm like, what time is it in the UK? It's 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. and Emily Andrews is tweeting about Meghan. The sadness of these people. And here you have Chris Ship past 1 a.m. Anyway, in other Harry news, Invictus. The Invictus Game Foundation is delighted to reveal that we have received 6 expressions of interest to host the Invictus Games of 2029. So they are Aalborg, Denmark, Abuja, Nigeria, Daejeon, Republic of Korea, Kyiv, Ukraine, San Diego, United States of America, and Veneto region in Italy. I have not been to Aalborg, Denmark, but my brother has. He's been quite a few times, actually. So it must be good. Abuja, Nigeria, that would be amazing. I don't even think, has the Olympic, I think, has there been an Olympic Games ever in the continent of Africa, or the Commonwealth Games, actually? So that would be an incredible first for Nigeria. And they also have the center that they're building. So I think that's a great choice. I love the choice for Korea. They are actually my favorite. Kyiv, Ukraine. I guess they have decided that it's safe, or it would possibly be safe by 2029. So I was surprised to see that there. I don't know. I know that there are some parts of, especially near the border, where there's still a lot of shelling and conflict going on. But obviously, they seem to have decided that 2029, they would like to go for it. I don't know what's happening in the capital, but definitely on the borders, there's still issues. San Diego, USA. Well, Trump's term would have been finished by then, wouldn't it? So hopefully the United States will be in a very different place than it is now. And then Italy's always a good idea. We love Italy. So Italy is actually my second favorite pick. So my picks are Korea, Italy, and Nigeria in that order. And then Denmark. You will let me know what your picks are. I mean, I think anywhere Invictus decides to host, it'll be great. But those are my picks. Also, in Karma is Coming For You news, Loose Women has officially been cancelled. Don't let this day be so much about success that you forget to celebrate failure. Yes, let's celebrate failure. Failure of their haters. Hilarious that this would be announced today when Meghan's podcast is dropping. Hilarious. All right, let's go to comments and then we will keep it moving. Hi, if you're just joining us, I can see you all streaming in. 400 in the chat. Thumbs up, please. Yes, it was also Father's Day in the UK. Indeed, it was. Lottie said Prince Harry he said that he always wanted kids. And I'm so glad he got that for himself. And a gorgeous little girl and a gorgeous little boy. And he's at peace in his gorgeous house with his gorgeous wife and their gorgeous friends, eating gorgeous jam, away from the mess. Ugh. Rainy, you hope North Korea wins. I hope North Korea does not win. It's the Republic that South Korea that wants the games. I don't know how Kim Jong-un feels about the Invictus Games. I don't know what his opinion on the British royal family are. Yeah, Korea is also my favorite. Dawn, San Diego is a great city and has a strong military presence. That's interesting to know. Tashmak, are they officially cancelled or just limited time and no audience? What do you? I think. I remember there was a headline from about a week ago where it was like it's been cancelled for a portion of the year, but this could just be their way of slowly taking it off of the air, and then it may not come back. So we'll see. We'll see if they don't come back, because my understanding was that it was cancelled for a portion of the year. Yeah, the tea is hot indeed. All that Meghan hating and ranting didn't help them at all. Absolutely ridiculous. No, I think it had. Wait, I'm just checking the headlines now. No, it's been cancelled. It's actually been cancelled. It's been dropped from ITV's schedule. Loose Women has been pulled off air with This Morning extended by half an hour. There you go. Wow. Okay. Rita, you said, I celebrate the failure of those loose and plastic women who cannot even smile without skin cringing. Good riddance, indeed. Good riddance, indeed. Okay, let's get on to the next thing. We can get onto the podcast now. I mean, look at how pretty Meghan looks. Look at how pretty. And you know, we're going to be getting more of these. I would love to. She has to do Diary of a CEO. She just has to. Like, there's no way she's not doing Diary of a CEO. There's no way. Who else do you think she should do? Let me actually open up my Apple Podcast. I'm not a big podcast person actually, so I don't know too many. Oh no, do you know who she needs to do? She needs to do, I think, Amy Porterfield. She needs to do Amy Porterfield. She needs to do who else? The one who's similar to Amy Porterfield. Oh, Jenna Kutcher. Amy Porterfield, Jenna Kutcher. Also, Rich Little Broke Girls by Kimberly Bizu, aka Slim Kim. I would love to see her do that podcast. So those are like my top 3 picks. I'm putting that out into the universe. Anyone else you want to see Meghan on? Drop in the comment section. And yeah, as this lady said, just finished the interview, and wow, Meghan was made to be the businesswoman that she is. She cares for the brand so much, but more importantly, she cares for the people. As ever, it's her baby. She is so freaking smart and badass. I have no words. My favorite interview she ever did, indeed. So let me just go through my notes. So there was a few rather interesting things. So Emma did ask her about beauty and fashion, and she did acknowledge that, you know, many people felt that that would be Meghan's natural pathway because so many other people are benefiting in the beauty and fashion space off of things that Meghan wears. And she said, well, that is definitely in the cards with something. Oh, so no, she said there will be a time for beauty and fashion. It's just not now. So it's definitely coming, but just not now. She wants to focus on consumables. And they talked about the difficulties of a product like consumables. And it was quite interesting because consumables is so much harder than something like fashion or makeup. The shelf life is shorter, and you have to get stuff off the shelf. And she also says that she absolutely has big ambitions. My favorite part of the interview, Emma asked her, does she have imposter syndrome? And Meghan outrightly said no. She said, I feel like I'm exactly where I need to be. And I love this response because I feel like so often female founders especially are made to feel like they have to be self-deprecating, they have to be humble. And if you don't believe so boldly in your vision and what you're doing, why would anybody else? So I love the way she answered that question. And I think if anybody ever asked me that question, I think that's how I would answer it going forward. Because if people don't like what you're about, they're always going to find a way of saying, oh, she's up herself, she's too much, doing too much. So just be bold in your vision and what it is that you want to do. And don't feel like you have to put yourself down or humble yourself. Also, Meghan talked about her team. She has her core team in her office. The With Love Meghan team apparently is 80 people, which is just wow. 80 people for the With Love Meghan team. She also talked about the As Ever brand and the possibility of, in the future, potentially raising funds. Now, obviously, she is partnered with Netflix, and you know, Netflix does have the capacity for creating, you know, brands and products beyond just what you see on the screen. But she said that in the future, there was definitely room, if that was a route that they want to take, to raise funds, and it definitely would not be difficult. I'm sure there would be VC firms lining up, if they're not already, to take a piece of the As Ever pie. So we're definitely not stuck for getting money. Another very interesting thing she said was she did apply for a cottage license, and in her mind, if As Ever was just a small thing, you know, selling at the local markets, that would have still been success for her. You know, if it had just been small and local. And I think it just shows how much, for Meghan, it's just about, and she said this many times, being authentically you and really having it be, you know, something that speaks for your character. And instead of what she could have done very easily, is she could have just gone to a white label company and gone, I want to put my name on something, put my name on something. And it would have still sold out. But taking your time and really nurturing a product as a business person, that's what gets you further going forward. Another thing that I just loved about this interview was the way in which Meghan talked about business, branding, commerce, other businesses. It's like you can tell she has her hand on the pulse when it comes to just business and branding in general. She speaks like someone who takes the time to acquire knowledge beyond just her own business. She, what's going on in the world of business. Who can she align with? Who can she learn from? She was also asked, oh, sorry, let me just have a bit of water. My throat's going a bit dry. Ooh, sorry about that, folks. She was also asked about the Gwyneth Paltrow and Martha Stewart comparisons, and she said, that is very much a compliment to, be compared to two amazing women. But I just see no point for those comparisons. I feel like Gwyneth Paltrow, Martha Stewart, they're their own. Martha Stewart is she's a different timeline. Gwyneth has her own, brand identity, and Meghan will also have her own. I don't really like this whole thing about comparing women and how do you feel about being compared to. And it's just like, well, why are you comparing me to somebody else in the first place? Anyway, she also talked about two of her favorite books. One of them, Kevon Slims mentioned, Automatic Habits. Now, I have to say, I've actually been avoiding buying Automatic Habits for two reasons. Number one, I've been trying to focus on self-help books written by women. And I just always feel very disappointed by these self-help books that go very, very viral. And Automatic Habits has been viral anyway. I think it sold millions, and it's been translated into many languages. So over 20 million books. I think I haven't read Automatic Habits, but I think I've read James Clear's other book. I think it's The Psychology of Money or something like that. I started reading that. But I haven't read Automatic Habits. I feel like I've just been so disappointed in the past with these self-help books. But now that Meghan's mentioned it, I think I'm going to have to read it. I've read his other book anyway. The other book that she mentioned was The Four Agreements, which I have actually read, and I loved that book. So definitely, if you haven't read The Four Agreements, definitely read it. It's just a very, very, very mindful book. And it won't take you too long to read, actually. If you're somebody that doesn't really like long books, I really recommend The Four Agreements. It's by Don Miguel Ruiz. Kevon, you also said they wanted her to humble herself in that family. Be 50% of yourself. Indeed. Be 50% of yourself for what? And now she gets to be 100% of herself with a lifestyle brand, makeup and fashion brand one day, with a whole show, cooking show, a podcast, a book, her children's book, and so much more coming. Oh, another thing that Meghan mentioned was her Instagram. She very much wanted her Instagram to be a fun space for her to share her life. And her personal Instagram will be just that. and the business side will be left to as ever. So it was great to hear her say that, and for her to say that she feels that there is a space that she can have joy, because for a while we wondered, would she ever actually come back, just because of the amount of noise on social. But it seems like she's been able to set boundaries and parameters where she can post and feel safe to do so without, being exposed to too much of the noise. And the power that coming back to social media has had for Meghan is incredible, because it's given her a chance to rewrite the narrative, this false narrative that has been created about her. And one of the questions that Emma asked was, if you could rewrite the last few years, how would you rewrite it? And Meghan just said, well, I would like for people to tell the truth. The comment section of this video was attacked by haters and trolls who seemed to get there faster than the fans did. Now, they actually did, Emma's people, it appears that they have been deleting comments from the trolls. And I just feel like, why should the trolls be allowed to be given a space? They're talking about business. They're talking about jam, for goodness sake. What are you coming here to troll for? Let me actually just check how many views it's gotten, because I think the most viewed interview on this channel is with Melody Hobson, which has over 100,000 views, and that was a month ago. So now Meghan's, I've just checked it now, in the last 17 hours, it's just getting to about 60,000 views, which is amazing. And that's just, that's in less than 24 hours. Wow, we've really been treated today. She also talked about loving that she, got to work with the cast for With Love Meghan, because it's one of the things that she misses about her time as an actress. And everybody who worked on Suits with Meghan has nothing but great things to say. Everybody who's ever met Meghan before she went into that ratchet institution has great things to say. The way they just were able to rewrite everything that she is. Unforgivable. Unforgivable. All right. We will also be getting an As Ever restock on the 20th. So that is Friday. There will be a restock. I didn't actually get the email. I've signed up to the newsletter again. If you didn't get the email, maybe try signing up again. So it said, first off, a sincere thank you for making the debut of As Ever absolutely extraordinary. We had a feeling there would be excitement, but to see everything sell out in less than an hour was an amazing surprise. We are pleased to share that on June 20th, we're going live with the products you love, plus some new delicious surprises. More details and exact timing will be shared soon. Now, one of the other things that Meghan said in the interview was she didn't want a situation where things would keep selling out very, very quickly, and because that would be disappointing for consumers. So they've looked at the metrics, and they would have looked at website views, traffic, amount of orders, basket, people who put stuff in their basket but weren't able to get things. So they would have looked at all that and have a much better idea of how much do we need to make now. Now, I don't know exactly how much product was made, but we saw the video for just the jam alone. There was clearly hundreds of bottles there. So I'm glad that they're actually thinking now of, oh, we can't have a situation where every single time everything sells out, because it will just be disappointing and annoying for people. As for what do I think is coming next when they say some delicious new surprises, I think maybe pancake mix. Be a good upgrade from the crepe mix, something a bit more thicker and fluffier. Possibly blueberry jam. I'm also thinking some more teas, different flavors of teas. Possibly something to do with florals. You know, Meghan's been posting a lot of floral stuff. So what exactly, I don't know, but something floral related. That's my wild card guess. All right. Yeah, I think that's all for Meghan. And then the last thing I wanted to mention was this. Tatler's playing, y'all. Tatler is playing around with this headline and this picture. This was an actual article from Tatler, and the picture they decided to use with Sophie. This was a choice. She almost, now, mind you, I don't actually think she's looking, or she could be looking. Is she looking at Kate? She's looking to the side, but it probably looks like she's giving Kate a side eye. This picture was a choice. Oh my goodness. They were at the guard today at Windsor Castle. There's a video doing the rounds. I don't have it on me now, but there's a video doing the rounds of a guard actually collapsing. It's not the first time this has happened. This is the one where they wear the big fluffy hats and the robes, and is some kind of order that they have. It's very exclusive. And yeah, they do this like parade where they walk through the streets with their robes. But the women don't wear the robes. They wear Mary Poppins cosplay, Effie Trinket cosplay. And here Sophie is giving Kate a side eye. And then the fact that they use the title, like, for the headline, Unbreakable Bond. Sure, Jan, they have an unbreakable bond. These people don't actually know each other. That much was proven in Harry's spare. Harry was barely even invited over for dinner at William and Kate's. You want us to believe that they have an unbreakable bond? Please. Anywho, let's go through your comments and wrap things up. Thank you as always, folks. Appreciate you being here. Rahini, you said, is Call Her Daddy still on? I used to like them. I never actually listened to them, but I know they're a big podcast. Dario Vasillo is all into Peggy. Yeah, I think I have actually seen him. Where was he? Stephen Bartlett. He was at that homeless shelter thing with William. I mean, he interviews all kinds of people, to be honest. I don't think he's actually ever interviewed William, but I believe that he was at an event that William did. Yeah, Rhonda, both beautiful ladies. The conversation really flowed. Emma's a fantastic interviewer. Oh, and I also wanted to say about Emma, I love that she just is a very no-nonsense woman. I love no-nonsense, give no-ish women. And you can tell she's that. And still very beautiful and feminine and fashionable. You can be both. But I love me, a woman who is no nonsense. That's a woman who I can stand for. Yeah, both very intelligent, gorgeous, fashionable, business-minded. Yes, love Meghan's strategy, aligning herself with successful female founders. I was having this conversation with Lightside earlier on, and we were saying that, you know, winners align with winners. Losers want to be the only winner in the room. Meghan is aligning herself with winners. In the royal institution, you can only have one person at the top. And then they're wondering why nobody's interested, nobody wants to show up at Trooping of the Colour. It'll be very interesting to see Trooping next year. Because it really did look like from those pictures that the majority of the people there were tourists. Tash, you said, her applying for a cottage license makes it clear that royalty titles and other opinions of her aren't what matter. She married Harry for love, not his titles or royalty. She saw him. Indeed, exactly. And if it wasn't for that, 100%, the marriage would be finished by now. She married him because she saw who he was beyond the princely titles. If it was just for the princely titles, everything that they've thrown at her and thrown at this couple, the marriage would be finished. So they can say whatever it is that they want. This woman has a pure heart. And you have two people that found each other and chose each other for who they are. Another thing, watching this interview with Emma, I think we have seen more than ever why the institution just could not have Meghan there. Because she's just too smart, too well-spoken. Now, mind you, it's everything that they needed in order to move forward into the modern era. But because of their jealous ways, in their minds, she's taking attention away from the so-called higher-ranking members of the family. They could not have her there for that reason. They would rather she was gone, driven away, driven to madness, driven to unaliving herself, than have her be there, help the institution move forward. This is what jealousy does to people. But oh well, it was never meant to be. The institution was never meant to move forward. The institution was never meant to come into the modern age. And it wasn't going to be Meghan that was going to help them move forward. It just needs to take its rightful place in the history books at this point. Dorothy, you said, these two women surround themselves with very successful self-made women. Indeed. Lady, you said, Atomic Habits has been in my Amazon cart for months now. I think I need to get it. Yeah. I just might get GPT to, give me a summary of it. Augusta, you said, heck, if the royal family has sold merch and gift shops at every crown property, Meghan is allowed to sell whatever she wants in her country. Indeed. Because for Meghan, that's her wealth now. They're not relying on the British taxpayer. Electra, you said, we finally got Meghan before she met Harry back. It was so nice seeing her being herself with no care in the world. Yes, if you watch older interviews of Meghan, that's basically what you're seeing now, but even more confident, with the confidence of a woman in her 40s who really, really knows herself in a different way than even back then. So it's the old Meghan, even more confident, even more vibrant, even more sure of herself. Oh, Melody Hobson's book is worth reading. Thank you for letting me know that she has a book. I will look at that. Lady, at this point, if you're still following Meghan around the internet to hate on her, you need to reevaluate your life. Indeed, they literally digitally follow her around the internet. Wherever she goes, wherever she pops up, they're there. They're there faster than the fans. I was busy today. It was a whole 3 hours before I was able to sit down and listen to the podcast. But by the time I got there, all haters in the comments. Ridiculous. Do you know how ridiculous you have to be at a destination to hate on someone before the fans even get there? Are you not embarrassed? Truly embarrassing. Anyway, it is 2:30. I am literally about to just like fall right asleep. Like you might just hear my head go ding on the keyboard because I am that tired. So I'm not gonna play the outro. Thank you so much as always, everyone. Love, love, love you. And I am at home tomorrow, so there's no reason why I shouldn't see you tomorrow, or today rather, UK time. And we will catch up then, all right? Ciao.